Something big is happening in the skies over northern Australia. For years, the United States Air Force has been quietly sending its most advanced fighter jets, the F-22 Raptors, to Australia's northern bases. The F-22 is the world's premier stealth air superiority fighter, fast, agile, and packed with cutting-edge sensors. But this isn't just a short-term exercise. It's a persistent, rotational deployment that's become the new normal. The Raptors arrive without fanfare, flying from Hawaii or Alaska, refueling mid-air over the Pacific, and landing at RAAF Base Tyndall. For weeks or months, American pilots and ground crews integrate with their Australian counterparts, flying daily missions over the vast outback. This land offers perfect training, remote, with almost unlimited airspace. The Americans and Australians live and work side by side, sharing knowledge and building trust. This is a fundamental shift in the military relationship, part of the Enhanced Air Cooperation Initiative. The goal: unprecedented interoperability between the two air forces. It's about more than flying together. It's about thinking, planning, and fighting as one. Australian pilots get to train against the best technology and tactics in the world. They're exposed to the realities of fifth-generation air combat, a style the US has perfected. The secrecy is intentional, not to hide from adversaries but to keep the focus on the mission. This relentless buildup sends a powerful message across the Indo-Pacific. It signals that the US-Australia alliance is deeper and more operationally integrated than ever. The Raptors aren't just visiting, they're becoming a fixture in Australia's defense landscape. These deployments are shaping a new era of air power in the region. The quiet presence of F-22s is a clear sign. Australia's skies are guarded by the world's best. The alliance is no longer just diplomatic, it's operational, daily, and real. The Raptors' rotations are a silent but unmistakable warning to any potential adversary. Australia's north is now a front line of Allied air power. The F-22s in Australia represent more than a deployment. They're a deliberate transfer of air combat mastery. American pilots aren't just guests, they're mentors, sharing decades of hard-won experience. This exchange happens everywhere, in briefing rooms, on the flight line, and after every mission. The primary flow of knowledge is from the USAF to the RAF, teaching Australians to think in the fifth-generation mindset. It's a new way of fighting: stealth, information fusion, and networked operations. Australian F-35 pilots learn to maximize their jets by training with and against the F-22. Maintainers and intelligence analysts from both nations work side by side, building a common operational picture. This deep integration transforms Allied aircraft into a cohesive fighting force. It's a strategic investment. A stronger RAAF means a stronger alliance. The goal is a force so proficient and integrated that any adversary must think twice. The F-22s may rotate out, but the skills and doctrines they leave behind are permanent. This partnership is fundamentally reshaping Australia's air power for generations. The alliance is now built on shared mastery, not just shared equipment. The core philosophy is clear: train to defeat a larger enemy. In the Indo-Pacific, Australia could face adversaries with bigger air forces. Winning isn't about numbers, it's about being smarter, faster, and more advanced. Training with the F-22 pushes Australian F-35 pilots to their limits. They learn to survive and win in contested high-tech environments. Scenarios are brutally difficult, simulating advanced threats and forcing split-second decisions. The focus is quality over quantity. An elite network pilot is worth many less advanced adversaries. The F-35 sensors and data links act as force multipliers, letting small groups dominate the battle space. This training builds confidence and lethal proficiency. Australian pilots aren't just flying new jets, they're learning a new way to fight. The result: a force that can outthink and outfight much larger opponents. Australia's air power now punches far above its weight. The F-35 isn't just a new jet, it's the core of a networked revolution. Its power lies in gathering, processing, and sharing vast amounts of information across air, land, and sea. Advanced sensors like the APG-81 radar and distributed aperture system give pilots a 360-degree view. The F-35 fuses all this data and presents it intuitively to the pilot. The real magic: multiple F-35s share information instantly via secure data links, acting as a single sensor platform. This shared awareness allows for precise, coordinated tactics and keeps pilots hidden. The F-35 can also share its battlespace picture with older fighters, ships, and ground forces. An F-35 can detect a threat and pass targeting data to a Navy destroyer for a long-range strike. This networked warfare multiplies the effectiveness of the entire Australian Defence Force. The F-35 is the central nervous system of a new, integrated fighting force. It's not just a replacement, it's a game-changer. Australia's air power is now smarter, faster, and more connected than ever. The future of combat is networked, and Australia is ready. Australia's transformation isn't just about jets, it's about the weapons they carry. The RAAF is investing in long-range standoff missiles that let fighters strike from sanctuary. The Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile, or JSSM, can hit targets hundreds of kilometers away with pinpoint accuracy. Its stealthy design makes it hard to detect and intercept. For maritime threats, the Long-Range Anti-Ship Missile, or LRASM, hunts enemy warships even in complex environments. These weapons let a small number of jets threaten high-value targets while staying out of danger. F-35s can find and identify targets, then relay data to Super Hornets to launch volleys of JASSMs or LRASMs. This networked standoff approach achieves strategic effects with a small force. The message: any aggression will come at an unacceptably high cost. Australia's arsenal is now built for reach, precision, and deterrence. Modern warfare is fought with electrons as much as missiles. Australia has invested in electronic warfare and command systems that amplify its fighter force. The EA-18G Growler jams enemy radar and communications, creating corridors for friendly jets. It can also target and destroy enemy sensors with anti-radiation missiles. The E-7A Wedgetail acts as a flying command center, tracking threats and directing fighters. These assets, integrated with U.S. forces, create a dominant electronic warfare team. American Growlers and Wedgetails train with their Australian counterparts, refining tactics. Shared data creates a comprehensive theater-wide view of the airspace. In the invisible war of electrons, this combined team gives Allied fighters a decisive edge. Australia's electronic warfare capability is now world-class and fully integrated with the U.S. Australia's vast north is now the front line of its defense strategy. Bases like Tyndall and Darwin are being transformed into hardened, forward operating hubs. From here, Australian and American air power can project influence across Southeast Asia and the South China Sea. These bases are south of the first island chain, out of reach of many enemy missiles. Aircraft can launch from these safe locations to cover vital maritime choke points. Upgrades include hardened shelters, expanded fuel and munition storage, and improved runways. The ability to project power from Australian soil deters attempts to close key shipping lanes. The Enhanced Air Cooperation Initiative centers on these bases, pre-positioning U.S. forces and equipment. In a crisis, the U.S. can rapidly deploy air power using Australia as a strategic springboard. Northern Australia is now a launch pad for Allied strength in the Indo-Pacific. The U.S. and Australian air forces are now more than partners, they're a fused enterprise. The goal: operate as a single unified force under shared command. RAAF personnel are embedded in U.S. command centers and vice versa. This constant exchange builds trust and ensures seamless combined operations. Intelligence and data are shared in real time, creating a single operational picture. An Australian Wedgetail and an American AWACS can link sensors for a seamless view. F-35s can pass targeting data directly to U.S. Navy warships. This integration prevents friendly fire, maximizes efficiency, and allows rapid adaptation. When F-22s deploy to Tyndall, they plug into a familiar integrated system. In a crisis, the combined force can deploy with speed and precision. The message: U.S. and Australian air power are two parts of a single unbeatable team. The alliance is now operational, not just diplomatic. Together, they're ready to fight and win as one. Australia's air power revolution isn't about seeking conflict, it's about preventing it. The goal is deterrence, raising the cost of aggression to unacceptable levels. Any adversary must now face a force that's technologically advanced and seamlessly linked with the U.S. The stealth of the F-35, the reach of JSSM, and the dominance of the Growler create complex problems for any aggressor. The fusion of U.S. and Australian forces means no one can plan for a conflict with Australia alone. Persistent U.S. rotations make American commitment undeniable. This strategy removes ambiguity and ensures any aggression triggers a powerful, combined response. Australia's investment in technology, training, and partnership is a shield for peace. The price of conflict is now so high that the weapons may never need to be used. In the skies over the outback, Australia is betting on peace through strength.